The cause of diabetes mellitus. The cause, as the reason as to why people get diabetic problems is that you become diabetic just because of two reasons. But the major one is insulin. You find that in our body, in the digestive system, in the digestive system, we have a pancreas. This pancreas has different portions or positions. If you cut off one position and you put it here, you find that, and you put it to the microscope, you'll find that you will get what we call islets of Langerhans. So islets of Langerhans, this islet of Langerhans, which we find in the pancreas, it has so many different types of cells inside it. These cells are inside there, but they are so much important to our body in that they help us to produce hormones which help to regulate or to carry out certain work in our body for our survival. So you find that it will have a cell we call alpha cell. That is one. This one separate glucagon. The hormone it gives us is called glucagon. It has another cell which we call beta cell. This is the one which gives us insulin. It has another cell which is called the delta. The delta cell. This one secretes somatostatin. It has another type of cell which is the F cell. This cell secretes polypeptide, pancreatic polypeptide hormone. What causes, we want to know what really causes diabetes mellitus. Yet we have everything in our body to maintain. So what causes, the problem comes in that the body has what we call the immunity system. The immunity system is designed to fight against diseases. But sometimes they can recognize one of our cells and they destroy them, as we are going to do. Now, if you don't have enough energy, the body will secrete this hormone called glucagon. If you don't have enough energy and there is no glucose in you, because it is glucose is important in our body. Having blood in our body, having glucose or sugar in our body is important because it helps us to get energy. So when there is no energy and you are hungry, it means that the body will look for a way of getting glucose for you such that you get energy. How does it do? The body will say we don't have glucose, but again, we need energy. We will go to the pancreas. The pancreas get the signal that we don't have enough glucose. So the, the pancreas will tell the alpha cells of the islets of Langerhans. These alpha cells will be told to separate a hormone called glucagon. Then glucagon will go and mobilize from they will go and mobilize glucose from carbohydrate substances. So these non-carbohydrate substances, like the amino acids and the fats, it will go there and mobilize those non-carbohydrate substances to produce glucose. And the body will use this glucose for energy. When you move to a place like to a hotel, you find a hotel or where to eat, and you eat, you will eat. Let's say if you have eaten, and you get like you have eaten carbon dioxide, carbohydrate. If you have eaten like carbohydrate, this carbohydrate will be broken down into smaller particles, which we call glucose. Glucose is the end product here. We shall study that in carbohydrate metabolism, protein metabolism, and fat metabolism. We shall study this and we shall discover this. Actually, it will be our next topic, I think, if I'm not forgotten. So, after we have got glucose will be circulating in our body and it will be used to provide energy to our body. Now, glucose after doing its work, it will reach a level. Maybe if it is supposed to reach here, it exceeds the level. Once it exceeds the level and reaches a higher level, the body realizes there's too much glucose in the body, so it will cause problem. It sends a signal to the same person, the pancreas. The pancreas will say, if that is the problem, then I will not send alpha this time. This time I will send the beta cells. The beta cells will be told to secrete a hormone called insulin. Insulin is what comes and lowers this blood glucose to the normal level. It will lower it back to the normal level. It will attack. It will move with this glucose. It will attack this glucose and it sends it to adipose tissues. What we call the adipose tissues. So once it sends this to the adipose tissues, it means the excess blood glucose has been removed and now the blood glucose level is now normalized. So the problem comes in whereby the blood glucose elevates uncontrollably. In blood glucose type 1, as we have seen that it is the beta cells to produce the insulin. So if the autoimmune antibodies destroys the beta cells, then it means that the control of the blood glucose elevation will be poor. Now, being that it is insulin which is responsible for lowering the level of blood glucose, in type 1 diabetic people, you find that the insulin is not there. Why? There is a problem in the beta cells. These beta cells are the ones responsible for the production of insulin. Now, once the insulin is not being produced, the blood glucose will remain elevated. So that is diabetes type 1. Diabetes type 1 comes in just because insulin is not being produced by the beta cells. This is our beta cells in the islets of Langerhans. So there is a problem in our immune system, in that the immune system is supposed to fight diseases in our body. But this time, instead of fighting all the diseases, there is a problem of the what we call autoimmune antibodies. The autoimmune antibodies, they develop in the body, and they start destructing the beta cells, of which beta cells are the ones responsible for production of insulin. So that is diabetes mellitus type 1. So in type 2 diabetes mellitus, you find that the insulin is being produced by the beta cells. The beta cells produce the insulin. The insulin comes to lower the blood glucose, but in the process of lowering the blood glucose, it takes the blood glucose to the adipose tissues. But at the gate of entering the glucose into the adipose tissues, you find that the receptors, they resist the coming of the insulin. Hence, glucose is not entered into the adipose tissues, and it remains in the saturation, resulting into high blood sugar. So you get what we call diabetes mellitus type 2. So that is type 1, type 2. This is how it happens. Most of the types of diabetes mellitus, they either behave like a type 1 or behave like type 2. So that is it. Next time we shall add on. Just don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. That is it for today. Thank you for watching till the end.